Hey guys, Stephen Bogren here for Pro Physique. Today we're talking about New Year's resolutions. So hey everybody, thanks for still being subscribed. I know it's been a few weeks since we put anything out, since I've put anything out. And really the thing is I was on vacation and Christmas, and it wasn't the most important thing to me at the moment in time. So, hey man, sucks to suck, Steven. Alright, but we back, we at it, it's okay. And what I want to talk about now is something that I think is really relevant to a lot of people, and that's going to be your New Year's resolutions. So, it's just the truth of the matter, right? It is what it is. There's going to be a lot of them. We're all going to want to have one, right? It's the social stigma and expectations that we have New Year's resolutions. Whereas I personally don't make New Year's resolutions. I know a lot of people that do. So let's talk about goal setting, how to make that work, and how to actually make progress towards those goals instead of having them be, hey, I want to get back in the gym and get back in shape, and 2 months later, we're paying for a gym membership we don't use again, okay? So, first and foremost, I think the big thing that we need to recognize in terms of our goals is that they need to be realistic, okay? Now, this is going to mean different things for different people. But if you have not been in the gym for 4 or 5 years, it's not going to be a realistic goal, most likely, for you to automatically go straight into the gym 5 days a week, kicking ass, taking names, squatting 300 pounds. It's just unlikely that you're going to be able to manage that, okay? So a realistic goal would be, hey, I want to start being more active again. And then on that next level, right? So I want to go to the gym twice a week, okay? Now, this is getting into the next part, and that is having an objective goal that we can set and measure, and we'll get there. But the first part is the realistic goal setting, right? Now, if we say, I want to lose 50 pounds by February, again, that's not really a realistic goal. You might be able to manage it somehow in the craziness of time. It's going to be very, very hard. It's going to be extremely unhealthy, and it's going to set you up for failure in the long term. A better goal would be, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year, right? I want to lose, a pound a week. I want to, say I want to hit this certain goal weight, right? All objective measures, all things that we can say, I either made progress or I didn't make progress, right? I want to feel good about myself is another one that it's what's going to make me feel good about myself? When am I going to feel good about myself, right? It's not really something that we can measure in terms of hard numbers, right? It's a feeling. So whereas there's nothing wrong about wanting to feel good about ourselves, there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel better or to have more energy or these things, right? It's hard to measure those things. Saying I want to weigh 180 pounds, that's a measurable goal. Or I want to weigh 130 pounds, that's a measurable goal. I want to go to the gym this many times a week, a measurable goal. I want to run a marathon. I want to run a 5K or a 10K. Measurable goals, right? We either made it or we didn't, right? So that's one of the big things that we need is we need that measurable goal. It has to be realistic. It absolutely has to be realistic, but it has to be measurable too, okay? Otherwise, how will we ever know if we made any progress? It's very difficult. I think one of the other things is we have to recognize that we need both long-term and short-term goals, right? This kind of goes back to the realistic thing, okay? I want to squat 500 pounds. I want to squat 200 pounds, 300 pounds. I want to run the marathon, whatever it might be, right? We don't do that right out the gate. It just doesn't happen. We have to train. We have to put time investment in it, right? So maybe we look at where we are, right? And we say, okay, well, I can squat 150 pounds. I want to squat 300 pounds. So my short-term goal right now is to get to maybe a 200-pound squat or a 225-pound squat this year, right? So I still have my long-term goal, but I'm working on my short-term goal. Reason being, we need the short-term goals so that we're getting some sort of win, okay? Nobody likes losing. It's the same thing with dieting and hating your macros. It's the same thing with prep, everything. Nobody really likes losing. It doesn't fucking feel good to be like, hey, you weren't the best. Hey, I know you put in all this effort and all this time and piece of your life into achieving this goal, and nope, you don't get it, okay? So I don't know a lot of people that enjoy that. Now, that being said, when we set those smaller term goals, right, and it's just like, I have a daily macro goal. I either hit it or I didn't. That's something you can feel good about and take pride in, right? It's the same thing with like short-term training goals. I want to put 10 pounds on my squat. That's something we can measure and we can feel good about when it's accomplished, right? And now, yeah, it's still not like, hey, maybe I'm not going to get there in a day, but it's also not going to take you, oh God, I think it took me a year to put 15 pounds on something like my deadlift this last year. So there's a big difference in something we can probably accomplish in, a few months versus a year. So we just want to make sure that not only do we have that long-term goal overhead of, and that's where that maybe I want to lose 100 pounds goal is okay to have, right? I want to lose 100 pounds in the long term, but I know that that's a big deal, and I know that that's going to take time, and I know that that isn't something that's going to happen overnight. So right now, I want to be losing a pound a week, right? Long-term goal of 100, short-term goal of a pound a week. So each week we still know that we're making progress. We still have that objective measure and we still win, right? So those are all really important things to make sure that, we're able to keep going, because the big thing about New Year's resolutions is it's really easy to get hyped up. We get excited and we're gung-ho at the beginning, but it's really easy to burn out by February. And typically that's what we see in the gyms. Those of us who are in the gym year round, we see it. We see everybody starting up like right before January or right in the beginning of January. And February, March comes around, it's right back to normal typically. And I know there's a lot of memes and a lot of people bitch about that. I would rather see a busy gym. I would rather see people being healthy, getting into shape, taking care of themselves, doing things that are going to enhance their life for the long term and make sure that they're going to have a good quality of life in the long term. So it's one of those things, like, we don't want to see you go. Some people do, but fuck those guys, they're assholes, okay? They're just in it for themselves. I want to see people succeeding. I want to see people getting the good out of the process, right? I want to see people healthy. I want to see people with good bone density, good heart health, good triglycerides, not having metabolic diseases. Those are the kind of things that we want to see. So we want you to be able to succeed and to stick with it, right? And so remember that there's a few things when we're talking about your New Year's Eve resolutions that you need to keep in mind. Realistic goals, both short and long term, right? Understanding that something life-changing takes time typically to happen, especially when we're talking about health and fitness, right? And make sure it's objective and measurable. Have it be something that you can come back, I want to lose an inch off my waistline. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to hit weight X. I want to lift weight X. Whatever it might be, guys. So that's it. That's all I got. I hope you guys have a happy New Year's. Let's look forward to a wonderful 2019 ahead, and be jealous of my shirt.